What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. Man, look, this thing has been exciting putting it together, talking to different experts, going behind the scenes and editing some of the videos and making the different arrangements and putting different pieces of the puzzle here, moving people from one city to the next city. Look, I just told Joe before we started this, and I'm sorry, Reverend Joe Mitchell, before we started this, that this is a pure leap of faith, right? I had an idea, there was an idea, there's a vision, there's a dream, and you can see it very, very clearly. But oftentimes you really don't understand how you're going to put it all together. But I tell you guys, just get started. You just have to get started and start executing. And so when you start to execute, things will just start to unfold. They'll start to open up. Things that you didn't see before will start to appear. It is an amazing journey. And so I'm happy that we are finally at this stage of the journey where me and Reverend Joe Mitchell can get together. So look, guys, we are part of a entrepreneurial community that's about generational wealth, driving traffic to your products and your services. It's called Traffic, Sales, and Profits with Lamar Tyler, him and his wife, Ronnie Tyler of Tyler New Media, based in the Atlanta, Georgia area. They have a phenomenal community, a phenomenal tribe. Entrepreneurs just helping each other get from where they are to where they want to be, little strategies. I mean, it's mind-blowing, the things that they deliver to you to help you grow in your business. A lot of those strategies and tips that I've learned, and I know Joel and his wife, Miss Naomi, are learning, they are helping with this project right now. So it's amazing what you learn, the relationships that you build. And Joe Mitchell, Reverend Joe Mitchell, is one of those relationships. And I'm happy and grateful to have you on board. Welcome, Joel. And just tell the people a little bit about, who you are and a little bit of your story and things like that.
Thank you, my brother. And Joel is cool, I appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, I'm Joel, man. And because I view ministry just as a part of who I am, you know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely more about the relationships than the religiosity. But thank you, because I do appreciate, the reverence for that. But yeah, I'm Joel Mitchell. Along with my wife, Naomi Mitchell, we are the marriage investors. We help couples gain a better return on their investment in I Do. And so we have been working nonstop over the past year or so, building our brand, building our business. It all started, both my wife and I are in ministry. And so it probably all started coming to fruition maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, when we started a non-for-profit organization called the Marriage and Family Institute of Chicago. And so we were working with couples and families, doing pastoral counseling and that whole piece. But then as we continued to do that work, we noticed that more and more people were coming to our non-for-profit and for our pastoral care services seeking help for their marriages. And so Naomi and I, the light bulb, and sometimes, God to give you an aha moment, the light bulb went off because we realized that, first of all, strong marriages produce strong families. Strong families produce strong communities. And when we can build enough strong communities, then we impact in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And so what God gave us this great idea, this light bulb, this aha moment, was for us to then transition from the Family and Marriage Institute of Chicago. Now, our not-for-profit, we still have it. It's still hanging evergreen. It's still ready to go. But what the aha moment for us was let's transition now to forming our own LLC. And through our LLC, Naomi and I were able to be more agile because, Naomi and I, and I can't wait for you all to get a chance to meet her, my beautiful wife. But Naomi and I, we have such busy schedules. So we have 3 children, a set of 14, soon to be 15-year-old twin boys, a 12-year-old daughter, I'm working full time, here at the city of Chicago as a deputy commissioner. Naomi and I both are in school, pursuing our doctoral degrees, Doctor of Ministry degrees. I soon plan to graduate, thank you very much, in May. I go up to defend my project in April, and so really excited. But with our hectic schedules, we, it was just too much to try to do the not-for-profit, because that means boards and it means grants and it means, all of these other things. But with the LLC, it's just Naomi and I. And we now have the flexibility. We're more agile, so we can, do things we can just move with the spirit. And so we've been able to do workshops, retreats. We've been able to travel the world, just the states, doing different things. We just released our first book, Shattered, How to Overcome a Broken Marriage. So we've been doing a little book tour on that. So it's just really been a very exciting time over this past year since the marriage investors have really come to fruition.
So, everything that you guys do, clearly it falls into that flow of your why or your purpose, behind, your mission and your cause. Talk to us a little bit about you guys' purpose, if you don't mind.
Yeah, and it's funny, that you said that, because I was just thinking in preparation for our discussion, you mentioned our work group, Traffic Sales and Profit. Well, we just recently had a meeting not too long ago where we talked about the 12-week year. And so that's just an amazing book by Brian Morgan. It's called The 12-Week Year. And it talks about, in businesses, you have to develop your why. Because if you don't develop your why, trouble is going to come. The enemy is going to come. You're going to have setbacks. And if you don't know your why, then you'll just want to be like a little kid, fold up your bag and take your ball home and say, I'm done. Y'all ain't messing with me no more. I'm out of here. And so discovering your why is probably one of the most important things you can do as an entrepreneur, as an individual. Because once you know your why, then, hey, you can be like, bring it on, because I know what my purpose is. And I know what my destiny is, because I have a vision of that. And so for Naomi and I, we know that our purpose as ministers is to serve. We know that our purpose is God has given us this marriage ministry. And you can't tell me otherwise. That is crystal clear, that our mission and our goal and our purpose is to help couples come together. It is to try to turn the gauge in terms of this divorce rate that we see that is just staggering, and that's both in the church and outside of the church. But we believe with the appropriate tools, the right resources, and the right help, we can restore brokenness. We can help heal marriages. And God, that's just so clear. And so now that we have that clarity, when we have a setback, we know that it's bigger than us. It's more than about, even, through our entrepreneurship, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of our family. Like I said, we have 3 children that we have to look out for. So we know that that's our purpose. But the even bigger part of that is God has given us this ministry where we need to impact the world. And we want to affect change in our communities. We want to affect change in our society. And that's even bigger than a paycheck. The gratitude and the fulfillment that we have, knowing that we are doing what we've been taught and created to do, it just, when you discover your why, then you bring it on. Because I know no matter how hard it get, we doing it. It's amazing, brother, because
I even saw how you guys allowed your why to allow you and assist you to shifting vehicles from the nonprofit to the for-profit, business. So you guys are saying to yourselves, how do we continue to push our mission forward? Well, we need for-profit funds in order for us to push our mission forward.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll come back and take care of the financing for the nonprofit through our entrepreneurial ventures.
Exactly.
Your why will allow you to shift vehicles and really see what's possible for you, and it'll allow you to not get stuck into thinking that this is the only way in order for me to get there.
Yeah, because our pastor used to say, now the message doesn't change, but sometimes the method will change. And so what we saw was we had to change our method in order for us to work it within, the parameters that we were able to do it. Because, we just knew when we started out, we had to do something. We always knew we wanted to do something. And so like you mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, we know that you have to get busy. You have to take action. And then once you take action, Naomi reads this book called God Will Give You Enough Light for the Step That You Want. But as long as, so you don't have to figure all of it out, but at least start doing something. You know what I'm saying? And so when we took that first step and we were walking, then the path became clearer. But had we just, stayed stagnant and just kept it in our mind like, oh, we got to do it, we got to make it happen. But if we had never taken action, I never would have met you. Right. You know what I'm saying? I would still be here in Chicago, as much as I love Shy. Don't get me wrong. Can't wait for y'all to come. But I would have been here, but without the opportunity to have met all of the great people that have come into our lives because we took action.
Yeah, man, it's amazing what starts to happen, what relationships start to come, what ideas start to shift and flow when you really understand your why, when you're really walking in your purpose, when you, like you said, that it's amazing too. It's scary, and I know a lot of you out there right now, you're probably thinking, hold on, I can only see the step that I'm on, and you trying to tell me I'm supposed to keep on taking another step? Absolutely. I promise you, the stair is there. You just got to take the step.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
So talk to me, brother. We're talking about the purpose. We're talking about the importance of, plugging into your power and some need of profits in order to keep the economic flow of everything going good in your household and your communities and your marriage. Talk to us, Joel, about, how you got to where you are right now. I mean, you just didn't come out of the womb, Reverend Joel Mitchell working on a doctrine and deputy commissioner in Chicago. What did you have to do to really get yourself on, to where you are right now?
I would say, first of all, things really became clear for me. I did my undergrad, went to Western Illinois University because I knew that's what I needed to do. I knew I wanted to go to school. But again, the vision wasn't crystal clear then. So for me, it was more about getting in tune with not only myself, but getting in tune with God and really seeking and searching out and praying for, why am I here? What is my calling? And then God led me to a life of social services. And so as I was, just working in the field of social services, I mean, I have worked with every target population known to man. I've worked with at-risk teens. I work with wards of the state who have been taken from their parents. I've worked with people with mental health issues, those types of challenges, people in the HIV and AIDS community. And so I'm working with all of these different, groups of people. And then when God said, I want you to go into ministry, I'm like, wait, quit playing. Slow down, God. Are you sure this is Joe you're talking to? And, but then once he was able to say, well, look, in essence, this is what you've been doing, because I view ministry as serving. And once I was able to see it through that lens, it's just a continuation of serving. Then I was like, okay, well, I guess I can get with this.
Right. I can get down with this. This is my lifestyle. I'm good with it.
I've been doing it. And now, but then that led me to preparation. So once I got that insight, then that led me to preparation. And so then that meant going to training. I went back to school, and that's how I got on this path of even pursuing, a doctorate. And then Naomi and I got together, and God had a very similar call on her life as well. And so it was just very beautiful to see how we could come together and blend our purpose and our passion and to be able to tag team this thing so that we can impact, greater people. But it has not been an overnight success by any stretch of the imagination. We are still on our way somewhere. But now that we have discovered our why, it's just amazing to see, the doors that are opening once you make that step, because it's almost like going through a funnel, old school. I am a preacher, so I guess I will pull out that card now, because it's all, you always got a story,
Bring it on.
But no, I'm just saying, it's like going through, you've seen a funnel that you pour oil into your car, and sometimes when you're on this path, it's like you're going through the narrow end of the funnel. And so at first it's tight, it's constricting, it's dark. But as you continue to walk, it's like you're walking out into this opening now. And so it's like, oh, Lord, I see, and now I'm being impacted and, brought into all of these spaces that's out in the open. But that narrow part of the funnel can, I think a lot of people get caught in there. And that's where that purpose is so important, because if you don't know your purpose, you won't keep walking and you won't get that breakthrough. Everybody talks about a breakthrough, but can you stand to be blessed? And so that's what that means. You have to have that kind of dogged determination to keep walking through it. And then you have to take action, but then you have to know what you don't know and then surround yourself with people who can be a blessing to you. Naomi always talks about soaring with the eagles. And we may have to talk to T.D. Jakes about that, because I think God gave that to Naomi first. We just didn't get the book out yet. So, but we've been talking about soaring with the eagles, man. And it's like, how do you put yourself and position yourself around like-minded individuals who are doing it? And so when we connected with Lamar and Ronnie Tyler, we had an opportunity to meet you. And so the community it's just so amazing to see people doing so many different things, but also being so willing to help. The people that we've surrounded ourselves with, we don't have a scarcity mentality, and people give freely. I mean, and one thing that Lamar says, you can't build your business off free stuff. So you have to make investments, but once people see that you are willing to make the investment, to make the right steps, to take action, and maybe even get some coaching. Because again, we didn't know anything about entrepreneurship, so, your natural talents and abilities will get you maybe in the door, but then, working with people like you who've done it, who can provide the type of coaching and assistance and that guidance to help you fulfill your vision, because you may have it, but you need a coach or someone who can tap into you to help bring it forth.
Yeah, man. I tell you, so I'm gonna be real transparent right here with y'all for a minute, right? So when I first started this entire journey, I was transitioning from active duty Air Force, and I didn't have a whole lot of money. I'm no job. I got my VA disability benefits, and I got this mortgage and these kids that's dependent on me, right? So I didn't have a whole lot of money when I first started this thing, right? So I was consuming free content, free, just give me free. Right? And then it'll get you only so far. But then I realized that, if I really wanted to go to a higher level, I have to truly start to be intentional and strategic about the investments that I make. And it's an investment because you're going to get a return, all right? Either in knowledge and relationships and resources and tools, you're going to get a return on your investment, right? So I hired my first coach. I started going to workshops. I started going to conferences. And that's what Joel is talking about. It will completely change what you is being possible for you when you really make the investment, show up, meet people, and get the information that you need. No doubt, brother, you are spot on.
Man, because we invest in so many different things. We invest in our cars, we invest in our homes, we make investments in our physical health. But when it comes down to some of these, less tangible things, there's sometimes this hesitancy. It's like, oh, do I need to invest in that? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. If you want to continue to grow and move forward, and you will get a return. And like you were saying, just out of the quick story, Naomi and I were trying to launch our book. We were having some issues with trying to come up with the cover design. And do you know, by us being in one group, we were connected to another young lady here in the Chicagoland area. She helped us, with the mock-up of our cover. I mean, just did it and gave it to us. I mean, like, where do people do that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what? But when you are connected and you are trying to, make the right investments and surround yourself around positive people who want to see you succeed, God will use, people in a way that can just literally blow your mind. The type of help that kind of comes and is being made available once you make that decision to step out on faith. Once you make that decision to move forward, once you make that decision to take action, it just puts the whole universe, in alignment with the direction that you're going in.
Absolutely. And that, guys, I tell you, is why you must have a purpose-driven life, a purpose-driven business, because when you are truly led by your purpose, everything all the dots just start to connect. All the people start to fall in alignment. I mean, of course, you have to discern on a lot of the decisions that you make, no doubt. Take some time to think about it and process it all. But I tell you, everything will start to just fall into place. And as Joel said, the larger end of that funnel will just open up, and you'll begin to see a whole lot clearer into what's possible. And what even 2 or 3 steps further ahead, you can get a glimpse of what's going on. So yeah, I love it. I love it. So tell me, Joe, or tell not me, but tell the viewers of this recording why they should attend the Purpose Power Profits tour stop in the Chi-Windy City.
Well, first of all, I have to be honest. I am from Chicago. I am born, raised, and live on the south side of Chicago. I love my city. I rep my city. You know what I'm saying? And it is a beautiful city. But not only that, will you have an opportunity to come and enjoy just the beauty of Chicago, the lineup and the people that Jay has coming to help pour into your life is going to be amazing. And so the other thing that I learned on this journey is there's just a blessing. You have to be in the room. Again, you can do the webinars, you can do, all of the things, via, and thank God for technology. I'm not knocking technology, because if you can't be there, technology is the next best thing. But it's like church. You know what I'm saying? You can watch church on TV, but when you in the house, it's like you can feel the energy, you can feel the spirit, you can feel the passion, you can feel just all of that, coming in and to be a part of that. And not only that, you get an opportunity to make those connections. You get a chance to meet people. Jay and I, we met because we were sitting at the same table. And we just turned around and started talking to one another, and look what happened. I had no idea last June I would have an opportunity to be talking to you all right now, and then an opportunity to be a part of this awesome conference that's going on. So it's just something to be said about being present, about being in the room, making those connections, networking, seeing people who are like-minded, because I'm telling you, you may not even have the same business, but just being around someone who's business-oriented, somebody can speak into your life. Somebody can give you an idea. And I talk a lot. That's when the preacher come out, Jay.
You're good. Go ahead. We rocking with it. I'm listening. Go ahead.
But that's when it really crystallizes that, you know, your whole life can change by going to one meeting, by meeting one person, by having one conversation, coming up with one idea. You don't need all of these other things to happen. Sometimes you only need one. And when you're in the room, you have an opportunity. I met one person, and that's Jay. And now look, we're here, we're having this opportunity to share and discuss these things. And you just don't know who may be in the room and who God may actually ordain to be in that room to give you what you need to not only impact your business, but it can change your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ain't no doubt about it. Look, man, I appreciate you. I know you got busy things to do. Grateful for your time, grateful for your wisdom, everything that you're doing. Looking forward to seeing you guys in Chicago in a couple of months. Look, guys, Purpose,
Amen.
Power, Profits, it is going to be epic. I promise you. We got some exciting things in store. We got to do a whole lot of work, but we are on our way. Looking forward to seeing everybody in Chicago. I'll talk to you soon, brother. Hey, when I see you in July, look, this what I need to see.
There you go. It's coming. I got the starter kit right now, but it's coming.
All right, brother. You take care of yourself, man.
All right. Thanks. You too now. Take care.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.